Crunchy sugared honey. Yummy.
Remember when adverts weren't just background noise but cultural events? The jingles of your childhood that you couldn't stop singing, and characters who felt like friends. Before you were introduced to streaming platforms and skip buttons, it was these commercials that ruled your living room. Let's reignite the nostalgia of our childhood melodies through these 10 unforgettable TV adverts every 90s kid in Britain knew before their ABCs. The unforgettable charm of the oversized, furry honey monster barging into living rooms and shouting, "Tell them about the honey, mummy!" First hitting the screens in the 1970s, this larger-than-life mascot hit its peak fame in the 90s. His childlike enthusiasm was an instant attraction for all kids getting ready for their school day and made their breakfast tables feel like a party. The honey monster wasn't just an advertisement tactic for selling cereal. Instead, he was creating a sense of companionship. Kids related to him because he was mischievous but lovable, embodying their very own childhood. The character's long-lived legacy comes from the incredibly smart ways of the advertisers. They mixed slapstick comedy with memorable slogans that were sure to become a playground staple for decades to come. Even today, his presence remains iconic because he transcended being a cereal mascot. He became a TV character in his own right.
I love to turn 'em on. Boy, I let you be my lead.
Even though it debuted in 1985, the Levi's laundrette advert became a cultural tidal wave and seeped well into the 90s. A young Nick Kamen stripped to his boxer shorts in a public laundromat, while Marvin Gaye's "I Heard It Through the Grapevine" plays in the background. The result? Levi's saw an increase in its 501 jeans by 500%. It also brought about the majority of men changing from Y-fronts to boxers. But what made it so effective wasn't just the sex appeal, nope. It was how it packaged rebellion as cool. The ad successfully made the jeans become a symbol of individuality and style, while moving on from their previous identity as mere workwear. For the 90s, kids who watched TV regularly, this ignited a sense of the same excitement that you'd get from a pop video, making it all the more memorable. And it still stands as a breathing example of how advertising can go beyond pitching a product and turn into a cultural icon of its own. Umbongo, umbongo, they drink it in the Congo. Does that ring a bell? The tune that carried the essence of children's lunchboxes and is still engraved in the brains of millennials today. It was launched in 1983 and ran heavily until the late 90s and relied heavily on rhythm, rhyme, and even a little bit of nonsense. It was a shift from the sophisticated campaigns, as it was directly targeting kids. Drawing its inspiration from jungles and wildlife, Umbongo cartoon ads were full of infectious energy and bright, catchy colour themes. Why target the kids? Because who else has a 100% persuading power over parents while shopping? The brilliance lay in its pure simplicity. A silly jingle, easy to memorise, and playful characters. An overall branding that felt adventurous and chaotic, just what kids want to see. The drink soon became a badge of coolness at school lunchtimes. It shows the power of music in adverts over all kinds of rational arguments. In a world full of polished storytelling, In Brew was adventurous enough to embrace the cheeky humour and national pride. Its slogan, "Made in Scotland from girders," in addition to the irreverent ads about Christmas mishaps and teenage romance. The brand embraced the weird side that no one dared to explore yet. That is exactly what set it apart from everything else in the 90s. Tapping into Scotland's playful self-image while remaining authentic paved its way into the crowded market across the UK. It shouldn't be surprising how they became a cultural point, always hanging somewhere between absurd and genius. Adults found the wit, and kids found the humour, and the slogan became a shorthand for toughness. In an era when most soft drink ads stayed in their comfort zones, Irn-Bru ensured its legacy by daring to be different. A few 90s adverts created enough chaos to be remembered, and the 1991 version of Tango's campaign is one of them. A man painted orange sprints up to slap someone on the face as soon as they take the first sip of Tango. While it became an instant phenomenon, it also brought about a few problems here and there. Schools were reporting kids slapping each other in an attempt to recreate their own version, and that's why the advert was banned. But it soon backfired because the controversy only brought more attention, and Tango's increasingly surreal ads became a crucial factor in their marketing. They leaned into such absurd advertising that people couldn't stop talking about it. They created memes before the word meme ever existed. Even today, "You know when you've been tangoed" is a line most Brits can instantly recall. That's proof that controversies can sometimes strengthen instead of weakening a brand's cultural footprint. Next up, we have the gold blend couple that gave viewers a slow burn romance played out in 30-second episodes. Starting in the late 80s and continuing up to the 90s, the flirtatious neighbours easily turned an advert into a mini rom-com. The characters were played by Sharon Morgan and Anthony Head, who delivered the perfect cinematic yet sophisticated viewing experience. While we don't even give ads a second thought, these short stories sparked numerous conversations about what would happen next. Audiences actually debated the couple's next move. Isn't that a much greater storytelling than many TV dramas at the time? The Guinness Surfer advert of 1999 is still one of the most celebrated ads in history. Shot in a stunning black and white backdrop, it showed surfers battling massive waves that transformed into galloping white horses, and Leftfield's intense track Fat Planet gave it that dose of drama. Following in Nescafe's footprints, they didn't create just an advert, but a whole short film, an art piece. And the metaphor was genius. For 90s teens and adults, it elevated advertising to a whole new level of thinking outside the box. It's proof that adverts could be beautiful, cinematic, and emotionally stirring. Also, that even a long abstract commercial could still leave a mark if the imagery was powerful enough. We hope it's chips, we hope it's chips for tea. Another great example of the jingle strategy is the Bird's Eye Potato Waffles 90s adverts, which drilled themselves into public memory. They showed how their potato waffles were fit for all 3 meals of the day, backed by the catchy rhythm. Parents appreciated how convenient the product is, and kids went after the cute display. The repetition made the kids memorize it instantly, and they'd sing it until the parents gave in. The persuasive jingle turned an everyday frozen product into something fun and special. Even now, the phrase "waffly versatile" is a nostalgic joke. It shows the power of the simplest hooks that can take over the minds for the longest time in cultural memory. The robotic aliens who mocked humans for making mashed potatoes from scratch first appeared in the 70s and then made a comeback in the 90s to upgrade the laughter fits. Their iconic metallic giggles and the line, "They peel them with their metal knives," stuck around excellently. Why is that so? They combined clever humour and ridiculousness to appeal to generations of viewers. Kids loved the silly, clunky robots, while adults got the satire about convenience food. That balance created a double impact that few campaigns could achieve. Rumour has it that the idea first came into being in a pub where Webster was thinking about the absurdity of buying, peeling and boiling potatoes when you can just get them out of a packet. He voiced it to his copywriter, and the rest is history. Their influence was so strong that Smash Martians entered popular vocabulary. It always felt like entertainment, and Cadbury made sure the robots lived in public memory far longer than the product itself. First hitting the screens in the late 80s and sticking well into the 90s, this ad featured a race between two cartoon cars. A greedy red car that ate everything in sight, and the blue one that chose Milky Way because it was a lighter way to enjoy chocolate. The extremely singable tune and the playful animation made their rightful mark on the kids' minds, all while the moral kept cleverly hidden. That Milky Way is a treat you can enjoy without feeling guilty, attracting the children and also assuring the parents that this chocolate is the best choice is brilliant marketing. From furry mascots to unforgettable jingles, these 90s advert didn't just sell products, they shaped childhood memories. Which one do you still remember word for word? Drop your favourite in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more nostalgic trips into pop culture history. After all, memory is the best advertisement of all.